professional advice for today's commentary with my favorite pro gamer, Fear Moho. If you don't know who he is, I'll leave his link in the description below. What's up, Fear Moho?
What's going on, man?
Yes, man. So anyways, I wanted to talk to you. I know a lot of things have been happening in the last couple weeks here, but I just wanted to get your opinion. And the reason why I brought you on, I wanted to get your opinion about a couple things, as you know, myself just being a pub star, you know, and not really a professional, but like, I don't know how these crossover things and how you feel about them. And we're gonna talk about Black Ops 2, but I wanted to touch on the first thing that's changed. Give me some history about Sitrep Pro, because I'm not really clear on Sitrep Pro. I know that I had the AX360 headphones. If people don't know what those are, that was the first headphones I had. And you had the ability, you could barely hear somebody in Call of Duty 4, but you could hear them. But it isn't like it is now, where you have Sitrep Pro and you can just hear people. It's like sound UAV about like 100 yards, 200 yards out. I mean, give me some history on this. What is your opinion on Sitrep Pro, and you know, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, man. You know, it's coming from where I come from. It's more like a competitive background, so I'm not really playing against Sitrep Pro. But you know, we do like to play pubs to warm up and just on our casual time play with fans and all that other stuff. And it's funny because when they had released Sitrep Pro, I didn't know anything about it until I didn't know what they did to it until it was actually done. You know, and when I first played a pub, I was playing S&D, and I was like, how did this guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was pre-aiming corners. I thought he was hacking. I was like, what the hell is this? And some guy in the lobby that I was in, he was just complaining. He was like, yeah, man, this is Sitrep Pro. This is what they did to it. So I ended up putting it on, and I listened to it, and it was just ridiculous, man. Like, you have dead silence. You might as well just take dead silence out of the game. I think they really messed up when it comes to upgrading Sitrep Pro the way they did. It really doesn't make any sense, and I really don't know why they did it. I can understand like upping the footsteps a little bit, but come on, it's as if you don't even have dead silence on.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then some people were arguing with me on Twitter, and they were saying that you know, Sitrep Pro, it stops people from sneaking up behind me using dead silence. And I'm thinking to myself, well, then stop camping. I mean, I don't understand. Like, the whole point of Sitrep Pro, to me, as a pub star on YouTube, is to keep the game moving. So that way I can, like, you know, if you're gonna camp, then I can get you out of your spot. Now I see people with Scavenger, Hardline Pro, and Sitrep Pro, and not moving with the whole intentions of building up their streaks. And that brings me to the next segue. You know, it's like, I think Killstreaks, you know, is the root of the problem, and I don't understand why that, you know, Sitrep Pro was implemented like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Out of all the 9 versions, that this one is the loudest one. Why such a big change now?
You know, that's a question, man. I honestly have no clue. I think maybe the community, you know, caused like a big ruckus. They wanted it like that. I really don't know, but I do know that I think having that perk will promote camping, if you think about it, because as long as people can hear your footsteps, you're not going to be running around. You know what I mean? I'm a rusher. I love to, if you watch any of my videos, I'm rushing 90% of the time with any type of SMG, even with an ACR. You know, that's just what I do. I run around, and if I'm playing a pub, I still rely on my skill to outshoot them, even if they hear me. But in the same sense, from the casual point of view, you're not going to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you rely on tactics. You rely on how you play. You know, you might rely on your kill streaks. You might rely on, you know, radar or whatever. But just the fact that they would make your footsteps so clear when you have dead silence on is just beyond me. I don't know.
So but the thing is, you guys don't. It's not sanctioned in your tournaments, right? Like, that's
yeah.
That's not that, you know, it's because literally it takes out the skill of people playing 1v1. You know, I mean, gun skills, gun on gun. I mean, you think about it, like, I don't know. It just seems like, you know, I mean, I feel like Activision has this deal with people outside of their community for like headphone companies to promote headphones. I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. I just think that Sitrep Pro is an overpowered perk that's literally a UAV, sound UAV, and it should be a kill streak. I mean, literally, I think the way they got it set up, do you think it should be a kill streak the way it's set up? I mean, sound 360 sound UAV, 200 feet away almost.
Of course, then a kill streak would be perfect for it. That would probably be the most logical explanation for Sitrep. As you were saying, it is banned in our style of play, our rule set. It's not allowed, mainly because
So pro players do not allow this in their gameplay.
no,
Understand?
you know why? Because pro players, almost every single pro player that's ever played on a circuit has a headset, and it's no skill at all to hear some. It sounds like it's as if it's a marching band running down the street. And what MLG likes to promote is skill, right? That's why they get rid of kill streaks. That's why you don't see a lot of the viewership that the casuals should get. But they promote skill, and they make you rely on solely your grenade, your stun grenade, and your gun, and that's it. And that's why you don't see helicopters. That's why you don't see claymores, because
or heartbeats. I mean, you think about it, look, Sitrep Pro, Assassin, a decoy, whatever the other one is, Assassin, and the other one, you can't be seen from above, and then like Sitrep Pro, Assassin, and Decoy,
Dead Man's Hand, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and then put heartbeat sensor on your gun with a sensor on the floor. I mean, you're talking about someone that's not even gonna move.
Yeah, you're getting assistance from all areas of the game, and that's what MLG doesn't like to promote.
Yeah,
it's that assistance. They want you to rely on yourself and your own personal instincts, and I think that's what drives me to. Because I'm fine with playing casual. I love casual. I think it's a blast to play, as well as you do. You like playing casual too. But you don't want to get bullshit. You don't want to have somebody else to have an upper hand on you because they have a heartbeat sensor on. Like that's just not competitive.
So what do you say to people that say that Dead Silence was overpowered? I mean, how? Explain to me how you think they may think Dead Silence is overpowered, because I don't know. I don't see how it is.
Well, I mean, they probably think it's overpowered because they probably have perks that they use outside of Dead Silence, and they don't think it's fair that other people can hear them, but they can't hear the person using Dead Silence, which is understandable, and which is why.
So if that's the case, Dead Silent and Sitrep Pro are both overpowered, then they shouldn't be in the next game.
Well, if you do it like that, then everybody with a headset will take over. You can't do that. Dead Silence is not overpowered, and for one reason only, because you have things such as radars, you have things such as heartbeat sensors, and all that other stuff. It's not hard to tell. If you're playing against a competitive player, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be using Assassin. They're not going to be using any of that. They're going to be using sleight of hand or extreme conditioning. They're going to be using Dead Silence, and they're going to be using Quick Draw. Yeah, they're going to be using Quick Draw. So 9 times out of 10. If you're a pub player and you're playing pubs against a competitive player, get your kill streaks up, you're going to see him on radar. So it's really not overpowered, because if you take the two out, the headsets are what's going to divide the competition. You're going to have a headset. Some people don't have headsets. Some people just play on box TVs, and how is it fair to them if they don't have a headset?
Yeah, that's like you got to spend an extra $50 to $150 that don't even come with the game.
Exactly, and some people just ain't about that, and that's understandable. That's 100%.
You know what? I'm starting to feel like that Call of Duty is getting away from the fun factor of the game, and because when you just said that particular point, somebody had mentioned it yesterday, that I think it was Thunder, and he was talking about. People like to, what if I want to run around with a knife and knife somebody, or have a knifing montage or a sniping montage, and that's, going into our next segue is that now Black Ops 2 has this ranked system. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, do you know about this ranked setup, or what it's like? I mean, have you heard anything?
One of the biggest issues between YouTubers and casual gamers and competitive gamers is there's that underlying fact that people love to say who's better and what takes more skill, right? I don't usually get involved in that, because what I do is my thing, what you guys do is your thing, and I support both regardless. But the reason I support this true skill ranking system 100% is because those who say the YouTube commentators such as Mark of J, T Martin, and all them are better than the competitive gamers, those people are actually going to get a taste of what the whole competitive scene is about. If you let's just say for the sake of argument that the highest true skill rank goes up to 75, right? Let's just say that it goes to 75, and you're not good enough to get to level 75, that's going to keep a lot of people quiet. It's only going to keep you in the range that you're allowed to go to, your skill cap. If you can only go up to 50, your skill cap's going to be 50. It's going to be like Halo 2. If you remember playing Halo 2, people were striving every day to get just past 38. It's going to put the pros on the pro level. It's going to put the semi-pros on a semi-pro level. And this is coming from all types of Call of Duty, too. This is coming from MLG. This is coming from Call of Duty in general.
So I seen David Vonderhaar's last emblem. Now it's supposed to, based on what T Martin has said, it's gonna be like a FIFA leagues. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like FIFA levels, like FIFA leagues. Like you're gonna be in this league with this emblem, or your status is up to here. Do you know anything about that or no?
Well, what it is it's gonna be like League. It's gonna be just like League of Legends, where you have Grandmasters, gold, silver, bronze, all that other stuff. Like, if you can't, that's what I was trying to say. If you can't get past, okay, when you play a pub match or a private or a ranked match, if you're gonna be playing against your skill levels. So let's just say, like I said, you're 30 and you're gonna play 30s. None of this 10th prestige versus people who are just playing. None of that. You're not going to have that, which is good. It's going to put you up against your skill, and I think it's going to be the deciding factor on who is a top-notch player. You can't just be. Let's just say this. Let's say there's a YouTuber out there that spends 2 days on the game and they put out a video proclaiming that they're the best. They have a tutorial video on how to be the best. But we all know, the people that put in time and dedication into the game, that person is no good, and he's just putting out stuff because he's bullshitting, right? Well, yeah. How is he going to put out, how to do this and, tutorial videos and tips and tricks videos if his rank doesn't allow him to get higher than what he already is?
So what you're saying is, how can I take advice from somebody who doesn't have a true skill ranking?
Exactly. Don't you think that's gonna be good? I'm not gonna lie.
Here's my opinion on all of that. I think that there's going to be it's a very touchy situation, because if you go back to Call of Duty 3, Treyarch had ranked matches and player match, and I think what's going to happen is that people will play ranked matches in the beginning, and then if there is player matches and they do not force everybody to play ranked matches, then I think it's going to be a big failure, because people, especially the people on YouTube, ages 12 to 18, human beings would rather walk through a door that's open than closed. So you're gonna have like, okay, we're gonna jump on the bandwagon for a minute, and because the whole thing is, the Halo scene wasn't that big with this, levels of true skill ranking. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that these true skill rankings and these levelings for, League of Legends type FIFA setup or whatever, how it is, it's going to create your fear crads. Your 2 or 3 guys are going to come out of nowhere and they're going to create their own name on YouTube. And, like fear crads did with the Moabs, they're going to have, you'll have a couple guys that always spawn with the new project that, Treyarch and Activision with the Call of Duty series haven't enacted with this new game. They're going to pop up, but I just think that, because of where Call of Duty's at this moment in time, it doesn't have that pronounced viewership like it used to on YouTube. I just think that what Von and Treyarch are doing, it's a great innovation and a different twist on the game, but I think it's just a little too late right now for YouTube. I think it's a great idea, and I hope it keeps everybody playing, but my fear is that, how could you really rank somebody in a true skill ranking match if it's team game? That's what I don't understand.
Well, that's where people come together and they make their own teams. That's why it's interesting. Obviously you're not going to go into a true skill ranking system by yourself. You know what I mean? That's what's going to involve the
So
competitiveness.
so so how is like a Marka J or T Martin or anybody like myself? How do we know how good we really are if we're gaming with great players,
Well, if you play,
or if they're gaming with great players? Like
well,
he,
if
yeah.
you're good, period. If you're good, you're going to be gaming with great players. That's how teams develop. But that's how teams develop success. If you're not good, nobody's going to want to play with you. You know what I mean? Like nobody,
Ah, I got you.
regardless.
They don't want to bring down their rank.
Yeah, of course. And one of the things you said is, of course, you're going to have that category where people, like you said, they might, resolve back to that what they've been doing, right? But
That
what is the
player match.
yeah, the player match. But what is the main reason why people play pubs in the first place is to get up on the scoreboard, right? To get people play free for all. Every time I
Now,
play a free for all, people are on there trying to get like scoreboard stats, and people they're
so
gonna have
so
to.
so let me ask you this question. Do you think that the true skill ranking is going to be for every game type, or just a select few parts of the games, or would that make sense not to do it
I
for all?
can't really answer that because I really don't know. But if I were to have to answer it, I would say that they're gonna do it for almost everything. Like free for all, they'll have one for free for all. They have one for TDM because if you do it for just one thing, you're gonna be taking away, you know, what people like to play. Like some
Mm.
people, let's just say for example, Modern Warfare 3 had a true skill ranking system, and you only the type of player that only plays kill confirmed, but kill confirmed isn't on the true skill ranking system. You're going to be forcing somebody to take a step into a direction that they don't want to, which ultimately could.
Well, well, the reason I'm asking is like, I mean, you could be like a level 75 in free for all, and Bill, that don't mean shit in team deathmatch, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm like,
exactly.
so like, I mean, it's even going to be create even more division
It's
amongst the
gonna, it's
community.
gonna, no, 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 no. It's gonna create categories. Okay.
Uh-huh.
One thing that's good about categories is let's just say for the sake of argument, MLG created something where you have an SMG player on the team, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have an assault rifle player on the team, a sniper on the team, and then a shotgun player on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the team that's the best is going to get categorized, as the best players, the divisions. You're going to have one
Mm-hmm.
team with an SMG category, and you're going to have another team with an ACR or an assault rifle category, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
think of it. Just take away those categories from Modern Warfare 3 and add it to like Black Ops 2.
Mm-hmm.
So your categories is free for all. If you're ranked really high in free for all, you're going to get judged by the free for all players. You know what I mean? And as far as who's the best, you're gonna have to play as a team, regardless. You're
I'm
gonna get.
I'm I'm really excited about it because I'm going to have to find. I mean, the guys that I play with, they're not playing anymore. They moved on to PC, so I'm gonna have to find a real. I mean, I know Marco J plays a lot, but I mean, I play a lot, and I'm gonna have to find a group of guys. And I guess I'll just find guys that are gaming like I'm gaming because I need a group and I want to do it. And I'm looking forward to this in stream, in live stream. Does that
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
they're only streaming guys that are in the top 5% or top 10%, or how does that work?
Well, what I read is you can't really take my word for it because I don't know if it's real or not. But what I read is there is going to be a built-in in-game stream thing for yourself to stream. Okay, and you're going to have a cam because it has a face cam and all that stuff. But I guess it's for everybody. And what I think's unique about that is if they did implement that. Okay, I'm not saying it's true because we don't really know. But it's out there. It's definitely something that they're embarking on, especially with the ending of that trailer, that multiplayer reveal trailer with Hastro commentating. It's
Uh-huh.
obviously a stream of some sort because it has a skill or the scoreboard. But what I think is neat about that is if they are going to do that, the people are going to play a lot more because
Hmm.
the people that are on top of the ranking bit systems are going to get the most viewers, right?
You're right.
So that's going to give you something to play for. Is the way I
That's
look at it.
playing for viewers is what it is now.
Exactly. Exactly. Playing for maybe just leaderboards. And, the top people on the leaderboards is going to have viewers.
So how do you? I know you guys play, and you sometimes you run in these game battle teams that are like 70-2, and you like destroy them. How do these guys get so high? How do they get 70-2?
So how do they get 72 and then get beat by us?
Yeah, like I mean, if they got so many wins, I'm like,
Well, that's the thing. There's a big community out there, man. Maybe they just haven't met their match, and then they meet their match when they play us, and we just have that, that veteran mindset. We have that experience, and we just outplay them.
yeah.
That's what's so good about it. I think it's just fantastic
Do you
because
think kill streaks are going to be in player or ranked matches?
that's I don't know. They'll probably be in there for like. I honestly think they're gonna do a separate MLG thing. Okay, they're gonna do a separate MLG
Oh,
playlist, and then people like myself will play that. Well, I mean, I'll play everything. I'm not just categorizing MLG's the
and
best.
here's another thing I want to point out too. Fear Moho is a professional Call of Duty player. And you people who are stuck on kill death ratios of like 3.0 and 4.0 and talking all this big smack like you got these kill death ratios, my man here has a 1.78. And let me tell you something, a 1.78 amongst pros is pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot. I mean, we're talking like if your kill death ratio ain't shit unless you're playing pro players. And how many pro players go? They don't even go 1-for-1 most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's especially when you play CTF.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and that's so, and I don't think people understand how the pro or the ranked match gameplay is going to be. How is it going to be scored? Is it scored based on first, second, and third, or wins, or how is it? How does it work? What is it? What is the calculations? Do you know, or are they just?
That's just something that you guys are gonna have to wait and see. I mean, we really don't know. All we know is what Vaughn tweets.
Yeah.
And
But
that's pretty much it.
well, I'm excited. I'm glad Fear Moho stopped by my channel and give us some knowledge. And like you guys, I just want you to know that he's a pro player, and I mean, even though like we all love the game, and we just feel some people feel the same way about certain things, and I'm glad he stopped by to give us insight. If you guys want to check him out, I mean, I learned a lot of great tips. I mean, if I need to learn some tips about gameplay, I go to Fear Moho's channel, and I learned the other day you were talking about. You had a video about reticles, about how to aim your reticle off the
Yeah,
hip.
hip firing. I did two. I did two recent videos. I try to do tutorial videos that a lot of people don't really know about, like hip firing. I did one about hip firing where the top reticle you need to aim at the head because it's just that range of where the bullets might spray. And I did another video on how to quick knife, which wasn't. It's nothing like new, but a lot of people don't know, especially the casual gamers. So I did one on that as well.
And then you did the run thing.
Yeah, the sprint cancellation as well. If you guys want to check that out, like Fish says, just come on over to my channel and just look for it. Just scroll down.
That's like he's the coolest pro player. He's not really stuck on himself, and he's always willing to share his knowledge. I actually consider Fear Moho an actual pioneer / cool person in the Call of Duty community, an actual Call of Duty community person. This is what a real Call of Duty community person is. So if you guys want to check him out, go to his link below, show him some love, say Fist sent you, subscribe to him on Twitter. He's always breaking it down, and they always do. I mean, he sometimes even holds game battles, public game. I don't know. He has teams going with him, see how you are. So I mean,
yeah, for sure. If any of you guys are like interested and like he's saying is, if any of you guys are interested in playing with me or against me, or just if any of you guys are just interested in the competitive scene, period, and you want to get like your team out there, just follow me on Twitter. And I'm always playing with people regardless. I always ask for team scrims and just custom games. So just hit me up.
Yep. So anyways, I appreciate Fear Mo stopping by and his insights on some things. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.